Many schools across the world use standardized tests of cognitive abilities to select students at intake. For example, admission to the most prestigious independent and selective secondary schools in the United Kingdom is often based on a cognitive ability test called the CAT-4, taken by nearly 1 million children every year. This test is usually taken in the autumn term of the last year of primary school, so when children are 10. And in addition to being used as an entrance screener, the CAT-4 is also used in many secondary schools to help dividing children into ability sets, to predict grades, but also to allocate support and provisions. Using standardized cognitive assessment rather than school grades as screeners is motivated by the idea that a cognitive test can be a more objective assessment of a child's aptitude or potential for future academic success. So it is seen as a method of assessment that is less dependent on external influences, for example, how a school can be more resourceful or a more nurturing home environment. However, it is unclear to what extent these claims about cognitive tests and their use as stable indicators of future performance, starting from childhood really, are substantiated by scientific evidence. In this article, I address some key questions about the stability and malleability of cognitive performance in childhood, and I review to what extent scientific evidence supports using a single test taken in primary school to inform fundamental educational decisions. So, cognitive tests are thought to offer an objective measure of a child's natural ability, one that is largely unaffected by a child's upbringing or their circumstances. But research shows us that environmental exposures, including, for example, toxic agents, nutritions, differential parental investment, and educational interventions, all can change cognitive performance, and particularly so as the brain develops. So during childhood, when the brain is rapidly growing, cognitive test scores can fluctuate considerably from one year to the next, or even from one assessment to the next. And this means that a single test taken on a single day in primary school is not a reliable enough indicator for decisions as consequential as which school a child attends or which academic track they are placed on, because these are all decisions that can shape the entire course of their education and likely beyond. But even when the stability of cognitive performance increases, so usually during adolescence, cognitive tests only capture part of what it takes to do well in school and to do well in life. And non-cognitive skills such as curiosity, motivation, and the belief that you can improve with effort, for example, are crucial to educational success. Yet, most education systems pay little attention to them. So rather than treating a test score as a fixed marker of a child's future, the evidence really invites us to treat it as one indicator among many and invest in all children's cognitive and non-cognitive development.